All right, right now we're going to do the second video on graphing lines, and we're just going to add in one more steps. We're still going to do, it looks very similar to the previous notes, we're still going to use an XY chart, but there's going to be one step that's added on. And I'm going to follow these three steps, and really the only new step is the very first step. Steps 2 and 3 are going to be the same of what we did on the previous video. Okay, the first step is we are going to solve for y, meaning y is not by itself, so we have to get it by itself. Now, in the last video, we already had y by itself. This is what we want it to look like. Remember, y equals mx plus b? You're going to see this form a lot. We want it in this form. This y is completely by itself. If you look at number 1. See how you have negative 2x on the same side with y? So that's going to be our first step. We're going to get y by itself, and then after that, we're going to do everything the same. So our second step is we're going to complete the xy chart, which we already know how to do. So we'll say complete xy chart. And what does that mean? We see it in parentheses. Plug in x and solve for y. And then once you do that, you have your ordered pairs. Then you just plot the points and you connect your line. So we'll say plot points and connect. We'll say connect line. Now remember, from the previous video and doing these in class, if you wind up plotting points, like if I plot points and I get this, okay, and then I get a point like down here, well, obviously if I connect these, this is not a line. It's like a triangle. So you know you did something wrong with the XY chart. All right, so again, this is what we're going to focus on. Before we even graph, we're just going to focus on this first step. We're going to solve for y. So this is what we're going to do for 1, 2, and 3. Let's see here. Okay, let's do 1. Now, I look at where the y is. Here is the y. Now, what I want to do is I want to get rid of this negative 2x. I want to bring this over to this side. Now, whenever we bring the x over, we either add or subtract it. Since there's a negative right there, that means I have to add 2x. So I'm going to add 2x. This cancels. So just like that, I have y by itself. I add 2x here. Now, get in this habit. We have y equals negative 3 plus 2x, but I'm going to switch around the order. And because we say we do this, I want the x, mx plus b, I want the x written first, and you'll see why later. So let's put that first. So if I rewrite this, it's 2x. Since this is negative 3, then I put minus 3. And I have y by itself. Okay, for the second one, right, again, this is 2x. Since this is positive 2x, I want to subtract it from both sides. So it's going to be minus 2x here. So let's do that. I subtract 2x. That cancels out. Subtract 2x. Now, do not forget about this negative. Very, very important. It's negative y. Then I'm gonna switch these around. So 7 minus 2x is the same as saying negative 2x plus 7. And then to get rid of this negative, I just divide everything by negative 1. So I have y by itself. Let's see here. These two negatives cancel each other out, so it's positive 2x. And then here, 7 divided by negative 7 is negative 7, so it's y equals 2x minus 7. All right. Those weren't too bad. This really took us a couple steps. Number 3, you know what? I'm going to skip number 3, and let's just go right to the graphs. So once you get this, you know what to do. You make your XY chart. You know, you can plot in points like negative 1, 0, 1, and then you get the y values, and then you can graph. All right, let's do number 4, and then all the other ones like number 3, and I think 5 and 6 on the next page we're going to do in class tomorrow. So let's just do number 4. All right, so if I follow, actually, you know what, if I go up here, if I follow the steps, all right, I have to solve for y, the first step. Okay, this is it, I have to solve for y, so let's do that. All right, so if I solve for y, I always want to get rid of the x. I always get rid of the x first. Since it's positive 6x, I subtract 6x to both sides. So here it's going to be minus 6x. So this is minus 6x. That cancels out. This is minus 6x. So I have 4y equals, again, I want to reverse this. So it's negative 6x plus 16. Okay, then I divide this is 4 times y, so I divide everything by 4. Cancels, divide this by 4, divide this by 4. I'm going to put this up here. So I have y equals negative 6 over 4. Do not make that a decimal. All right, make it a fraction, and you're going to know why when we do it next. This is going to be negative 3 over 2 is what it reduces to. So it's negative 3 over 2x. And then this 16 over 4 reduces to 4. So it's plus 4. Now this is good. This is a fraction one. And I think we did these. Hopefully we did these in class. I want to plug in numbers that do not give me fractions. I want to get whole numbers. Remember, the bottom number is the key, the 2. So since it's 2, easy numbers to plug in, negative 2. Really, any multiple is a 2. So we go negative 2, and I'm going to go 0 and 2. All right? It's always depending on that bottom number. Do not make it a decimal. Leave it as a fraction. All right, let's plug in negative 2. Now, if I plug in negative 2, remember, again, this negative 2, I'm plugging all the way into here for this x. So when I do that, I'm going to have negative 3 over 2 times, right? I plug it into this x. That becomes, what, negative 2? And then don't forget this here. Don't forget to add 4, so I put plus 4. Okay, these 2's cross cancel. And then since I have 2 negatives, they cancel. And this just becomes 3 plus 4, which is 7. So I have negative 2, I have 7. That's my ordered pair, negative 2, 7. 0 is always an easy number to plug in. Remember, when you plug in 0, you always get this, just this number. And to show you the work, it's negative 3 over 2. I plug in 0, then I add 4. Right, this cancels out. That's just 0, and 0 plus 4 is 4. So this ordered pair here is 0, 4. Okay, and then I'm going to plug in 2. So when I plug in 2, it's going to be negative 3 over 2. The x value is 2. And then don't forget to add the 4. These 2's cross cancel. Now this is just negative 3 plus 4, which gives us 1. So this ordered pair is 2, 1. Okay, if you look, I'm going to highlight this in a different color. Let's put it in red. If I put this in a different color, let's look at the y values. I got 7, then I got 4, then I got 1. See how I go down by 3? 7 minus 3 gives me this 4. 4 minus 3 gives me this 1. The reason is because you have a negative 3 up top. This is all about patterns. There's patterns everywhere when we graph linear equations. So let's graph these 3 points. Let's graph negative 2, 7. So again, if I go from the origin, I go to the left 1, 2, I go up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, put a dot right there. Just right here. Okay, and then I have 0, 4. So I'm just from the origin, I'm just going up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is right here. Okay, then I do, this is what, 2, 1, which is right here. So from the origin, I go to the right 2, and I go up 1. And look, it's going to match up with this line. All right, so again, this was to the right 2, up 1. Put a dot right there. And we have it. 2, 1. Here we go. And you can see this line goes down left to right. Why does it go down left to right? Because we have this negative multiplying the x. That's why it goes down. All right, so we even looked at a difficult XY chart when we have fractions, but the only new step we're adding in there is we're solving for y. All right, so we'll do more work. We'll do 3, 5, and 6 to start class tomorrow, and then you'll do plenty of partner work so that you really understand this. Ciao.